Hey, how's it going? Welcome to News Acc Friday 14th January 2022. Looking at the front of the paper as always. First up, New York Times here, Sleepy Joe coming down the stairs. Bad day for him. Couldn't pass the voting rights bill. Previously wasn't able to pass the social safety spending bill, so you'd have to wonder what the point of politicians is. Maybe we should just cut out the middleman, just voting things directly ourselves would be a bit easier. Down here, leader of the Oath Keepers militia, Stuart Rhodes, arrested in connection with January 6th. Down here, unvaccinated Serbian tennis player. Wall Street Journal, court blocks Biden vaccine rule. Supreme Court came out and said that Sleepy Joe is not allowed to bring in a vaccine or test mandate for private companies. He is allowed to do it for government employees, just not for private companies. There will be no interfering in the free market, okay, gang? Down here, Russia threatens to deploy troops near America. Really? Moscow might send military to Cuba and Venezuela. That sounds like total FUD, but let's see. Down here, Stuart Rhodes. USA Today, Barry Obama with an opinion piece here. Fight for our democracy, I guess. Dems getting pretty desperate, want Barry to go out and talk about voting rights. Nash Post Canada, from rockstar to has-been. There was a rock that came down from Mars. They thought it was interesting because it had fossils in it. Turns out no fossils in it, just rock and water. Grandma from Cuba, story there about pushing Cuba towards an export-led economy rather than an import-led economy. Down the bottom, quote from Fidel, peoples like men are forged in the fight. Yes, thank you, Fidel. Star for South Africa, true crime, corruption. Jerusalem Post, IDF officers killed by friendly fire. Oh no. Underneath that, it's tragedy after tragedy for the IDF. You'd have to cry a tear for one of the most heavily armed and violent groups on the planet. The Hindu cases line go up. Down here, BJP suffers yet another blow as third minister quits. 3 ministers in a row in Uttar Pradesh have quit from Modi's party. It's a bit of a crisis there, ongoing. The Australian COVID line go up. Global Times, there's some Russian soldiers leaving Kazakhstan after their little holiday over there. On the left, Syria joins Belt and Road Initiative amid extensive China-Mid-East exchanges. Well, okay. I mean, I guess out of all the countries in the Middle East, Syria probably needs it the most, considering their infrastructure has just been blown to pieces over the last multiple years of the war by their own government and other groups, of course. Irish Examiner full page spread about Aisling Murphy, the woman who was killed in tragic circumstance the other day. So Irish Examiner going in hard in the tragedy porn. Irish Times, Aisling Murphy on the right, police collusion identified in Northern Ireland murder as well. Shock, shock, horror. Who would have thought? The police service in Northern Ireland came out and said, yeah, bunch of loyalist paramilitary murders. We were basically involved with them and colluded with loyalists to make them happen. So do we think anything's going to happen because of this? Unlikely. Irish Daily Mail, Andrew stripped of royal and military titles over US sex case. Well, Andrew, huh? That's a bit of a misleading headline now. Andrew stripped of royal and military titles. He's been stripped of his royal patronages, which is a different thing. So they can be the patron of a charity or of various groups in the army, things like that. And he's lost his military titles for sure, no question. He's no longer a Vice Admiral or whatever other poxy titles he had. He is, however, still the Duke of York, still the Earl of Inverness, and still the Baron of Killyleagh. In fact, I'd just like to put out there now, I am claiming the title of the Baron of Killyleagh from Andrew, okay? I figure I'm Irish, so I'm more entitled to it than he is as a non-Irish person. And if he wants it back, he can come and feckin' take it. Underneath that, Aisling Murphy, Irish Sun, thrown out. Good pun, I like that. Underneath that, Aisling Murphy, The Echo, Aisling Murphy, Harold from Scotland, Duke stripped of military roles and loses the use of HRH. HRH, of course, His Royal Highness. Not allowed to use it publicly anymore. Presumably still allowed to use it in private. So maybe over Sunday dinner, Mummy will refer to him as His Royal Highness to make him feel a little bit better. Financial Times, stealing the future. Kazakhstan's turmoil was 25 years in the making. There's a connection here between Kazakhstan and Prince Andrew, which is also coming up. Sunninghill Park was a mansion on a massive piece of land, was given to Andrew and Sarah Ferguson on the occasion of their marriage in 1986 by the Queen. Fast forward 2007, he sold it for £15 million to Timur Kulibayev, one of the members of the ruling family of Kazakhstan, sold to him for £15 million. And it's coming out now, they have hundreds of millions, possibly billions of pounds invested in property in England, including his daughter Dariga owns Baker Street. 221B.
The name's Sherlock Holmes and the address is 221B Baker Street.
Underneath that, MI5 spook, Chinese agent rattles nerves. That's Christine Lee, has been deported now from England. MI5 came out and said, yeah, she's peddling influence on behalf of the Chinese because she donated a load of money to politicians, etc. Not sure what to make of this story. One thing I do think about it is that a lot of people in the UK ply politicians with money, British nationals, to get influence. We don't hear about that. We are hearing about this Chinese lady, so take from that what you will. Russia, Ukraine, down the bottom, Rishi Sunak. People are saying, yeah, he's been very quiet about Boris, he's been very neutral, so maybe he's going to be the next leader of the Tories, but unlikely, I think. The Guardian, there he is. Thank you for your service, mate. It's been a pleasure. Down here, MI5 China story. The Times, Chinese agent story. Andrew, Downing Street parties were not criminal. The inquiry is to say, okay, the inquiry result is not out yet. It's supposed to be out end the next week or the week after, but they're already saying no criminality. So, Daily Torygraph, there's Andrew being driven up to meet Mummy for his meeting. Chinese spy story. Down the bottom, Fraser Nelson, editor of the Torygraph. The Tories won't oust Johnson until a successor steps up. Yeah, I do fear he's true. He's basically saying that Liz Truss is not ready, Rishi Sunak's not ready, maybe Dominic Raab doesn't want the job, that type of thing. It's a bit of a poison chalice. I fear he's right. I think Boris will make it to the end of the year at least. Daily Express, Mummy and Andrew. iNewspaper, Andrew. Daily Mail, MI5 China, driven out, Andrew, okay. The Mirror, Queenie strips Andrew of his titles. Underneath that, number 10 parties on the eve of Philip funeral. Okay, so while the country was in national mourning for His Royal Highness, Prince Philip, The Downing Street crew were boozing it up. I wonder, would they celebrating Prince Philip's death? Not for me to say. Maybe. Daily Star. Andy. They're going in deep here, saying, common as muck Andy Windsor will face sex claims without his pips after the Queen stripped the Prince of his HRH title and royal duties. Yeah, his name is just now Andy Mountbatten Windsor or whatever. Metro, Take 5, Boris, thrown out. Okay, they repeated the pun from The Sun. There you have it. Andrew is still the Duke of York, believe it or not. Still the Duke of York, still the Earl of Inverness, still Baron Killyleagh, and Boris Johnson is still the Prime Minister. Julian Assange is still in jail in the maximum security Belmarsh prison without fair trial or due process. If you want to stay off corporate state, social media for the day, just click the link in the description. Alright, thanks, good luck.